welcome to episode number 264, the 264th episode of the Rashad Mitchell Show, live on Josh Scope Radio. I'm your host, Rashad Mitchell, coming to you live from the great studios of Rochelle Park, New Jersey. The Rashad Mitchell Show comes on every single Saturday afternoon from 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Josh Scope Radio. We'll be back once again for another episode in the month of October. I have a guest on the live line via phone. His name is Chris Washburn. He used to play for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Was one of the top 5 picks in the 1986 NBA draft. And he joins me live on the phone. Welcome to the Rashad Mitchell Show, Chris Washburn.
Hey, Rashad. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on my show. Thank you. All right. First question. Where you originally from? Where were you born?
I was born in North Carolina, Hickory, North Carolina, little city outside of Charlotte, about 45 minutes. And that's why I reside at now. That's about 10 years.
Okay. Growing up, who were your role models? Who were the people that influenced you to do what you do?
Believe it or not, nobody in basketball. At first, I was a big football player. I was running back for my elementary team, and then when I got I had a big growth spurt over the summer. They tried to put the wide receiver. And so at that time, football was one of the secondary sports. Basketball is it, but never no one I actually really watched. My mom played for the Atlanta State a little bit, and so that was my
Okay. So in high school, you said you played running back. Was that in high school too? Did you play football in high school other than just basketball?
No, bro, because that's when I finally got to high school. I was the first year that they moved our ninth graders to the high school. And so when I got there in ninth grade, I was already 6'9".
Okay.
Football, after the eighth grade, they taking that from me. They wanted to be wide receiver. I couldn't really catch it back then, believe it or not. And so I didn't want to be in bad rock with the football team. Just focus on basketball and track. So I started doing that.
Okay. So going to research, you know, was 6'11", you grew 2 more inches, and now you one of the top 3 high school recruits in the country in 1984, along with Danny Manning and John Williams. Talk about that, and also talk about, other than North Carolina State, were there other schools that, was reaching out to you to go to their school?
Was coming out of high school my senior year. And again, I still say I was number one, although they had a toss up myself, Danny Mann, and another guy named Dale Reed. And also, like you said, John Williams. Those guys strictly played high school, 12th grade. See, after my sophomore year, I went to 12th school for the military academy, which played guys that had already graduated college, but just had some, sports they didn't pass, so they were able to still take college courses. They get those high school courses, but they had already graduated in high school. So again, those guys, I was playing against them, also junior colleges, and also college JVs, like Chapel had a JV team, University of Virginia had a JV team. So those are guys I was playing against my junior and senior year. So when I tell folks, I only played within 2 years of just high school basketball. My junior, senior was almost like I was in junior college, because I was playing against guys that were grown men. I was only 17. They were already 19, some were 20. So that's why I think I was the best coming out of high school. I was only had 2 years of high school basketball.
Okay, so meeting Jimmy Valvano, like, what was like, meeting him? Was he the guy that was the main recruiter of you to go to NC State?
We were a top guy, the top guy. Coach Lee from New York. So he come with all the glitz and glamour, all the conversation, but he had a guy behind him named Tom Marco. That was I guess the best recruiter in the country. At the time I was talking to Marco, he was the assistant coach for Virginia Tech. And he almost had me going to Tech, and something happened where, and again, Marco was another Italian guy. I don't know if that was a connection or not, but I was almost leaning towards Virginia Tech. And somehow Coach Lee got with Marco was at Virginia Tech, State. Next thing I know, I was getting more mail from NC State than I was getting from Virginia Tech, and that started leaning me that way. Although I was from North Carolina, and again, I wasn't really a big guy that watched college basketball. The big Now, it was really just a group that I ended up in state because I'd been recruited since the ninth grade. I started getting my NBA letters by my sophomore year in high school. So, I was tired by my senior year, so I told my mom the next team would actually come through the door because back then the college coaches could come to your house to recruit you certain periods of time. And I told the next person to come through the door, I was fine. We don't care who it was. It could have been Syracuse, it could have been Seton Hall, anybody. But NC State happened to come through the door, and I told Coach I was going to down with them that day, although they were recruiting. I hadn't made any commitments towards them. So when I told him I was going to sign, he was crying. And again, that just took a lot of pressure off of me. I didn't keep on doing that for my senior year.
Okay, so 84, that's when you came to NC State, correct? 1984, that was your freshman year?
That was my year. That was my year of messing up as well now. So I first went to NC State. I was playing a practical joke. Just had everybody didn't see it funny. I got suspended from the team for the remainder of the year. We'd only played 10 games that season. We were already 10-0. See, I had Spud at the point guard. Nate McMillan was the two. I think I had Benny Bolton was my three, myself. I'm sorry, Lorenzo Charles was three, myself, and Coach Jim McQueen. We had a good squad that year, but again, I got three from the team, and that ended my freshman year.
Okay, so did you go to the tournament in 85, or was it the following year?
I'm sorry, you talking about the championship year?
No, the NCAA tournament. When you was there, did you make it to the NCAA tournament your freshman year?
Yeah, we were the big. Yeah, believe it or not, we were the last team to, because in '83, they won the championship.
Yeah.
'84, they didn't do well. I was suspended that year. But the next year, the '85-'86 season, we were the last team to lose in the Elite Eight. Lost to Kansas, Danny Manning's team. And if we'd have won that game, we'd have been in the Final Four. And ever since I left the state, and that was like I said in '86. Now they've been in the tournament, but they never made it to the Elite Eight. So like I said, I still feel as though that I still have a good legacy down there. Although it was only 1 year a stint that I had, but again, no one else has gone as far as I went, other than when.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the NBA draft. You was kind of a rarity to like leave early. Like Isaiah Thomas left as a sophomore, I believe, and Magic Johnson left as a sophomore after Michigan State left Michigan State. But you decided to not stay for the 2 remaining years at your time in NC State. What made you want to go to the NBA draft as a sophomore?
Well, believe it or not, now, I can only give you a little bit, Rashad. Right now, I have a book coming out probably around November, maybe December.
Okay.
That will explain a lot of this in between stuff. But let's just say that I had made some mistakes after the basketball season at State, where that I didn't go back to class, and Coach had already told me I didn't miss any more classes. So I kind of made myself ineligible for my junior year, and then I'd already missed my freshman year, so I had to take a chance on going to the NBA. And believe it or not, all the guys that had big names, Brad Daugherty, John Gallagher, all these guys, that were seniors, when I had my chance to play against them, I averaged 28 to 33 points on these guys, which was good because when it came down to put my name out in the draft, I think a lot of that kind of stood out for a lot of folks, and they gave me a chance back then, like I said, in the lottery.
Okay, so the
this afternoon before the 8th sellout of the year, the Dallas Wings play host to the...
Because the disappointments, unfortunately, for the players that were in that draft.
For the defense there, they had a guy in position to bring him down for no gain, but because he missed the tackle,
very top heavy. Because the Big East was the dominant conference, but the ACC was top heavy too. Because in that draft you had 3 ACC players, including yourself, being drafted, like Brad Daugherty and obviously Glenn Bias. But talk about that draft day, getting ready to go to talk about that.
That sounds good. You know what? I was excited on draft day. I talked to at that time the general manager from Philadelphia, and he told me that just keep it to myself, that they were going to try to pick me number 1, being an underclassman. At that time, believe it or not, he gave me a rundown I could have went to the world. I could have just done the three. Or Barkley could have done the three, then I could have done Barkley or myself could have done the four, and then you had Moses Malone at the five. And I thought that would be a good lineup, you know. So I just didn't but come draft day, not knowing this is a business, you know what I'm saying? They traded their pick off to me. I knew nothing about Cleveland, and then was on the Cleveland for any business. I don't think he was going to put it in the top 10 at that time. And they knew I was going to be gone before anywhere after the top 7, so I didn't go for a tryout for the Cavaliers. But they made that pick and traded to Cleveland. Cleveland took granddaughter. Boston already made it known they were going to take Lynn Tigers. Luckily, I went out to California. Mainly just before I did it in California. I never been in it. I wanted to come out first class, do a little workout, basketball that you been dealing with. I had no problem doing that. But luckily I did that because they had the third pick and they picked myself. But that year, like you said, that was a good class. That was the first time in a bunch of years that the 18 players take on one week. I was the first underclass, so probably within the first 2 weeks. And you had myself, Brad, Lynn, you had William Bedford, and John Sally. I mean, you had the top 8 guys, but believe it or not, the second round guys did better. Then you had Mark Price, Ron Thompson, you had Dennis Rodman. All these guys are Hall of Famers. So again, when I draft with people up front, but also that first, maybe first 10 guys, 4 or 5 of them had some kind of substance problem. And again, but that it still just takes what the talent of the draft, and I was honored to be in that draft. Second round.
Okay, Len Bias, was you close with him? Were you close friends with him? Leading up to the draft,
Man,
like.
like, yeah, me and Lenny kicked it. We were acquaintances. If this is one of the guys in my book, you would have to read when it come out. But I knew Len. I knew Len prior to prior to the NBA draft. I made the point when we played Maryland because I only heard about Len, and I don't some of the things he was doing. I just had to see how big this guy was. So I made that on. We had our little workout in Maryland. Me and Nate walked to the campus, and I found him coming out of one of the class, and I just had my eyes on him. And I thought, this guy wasn't as big as me, wasn't as tall as me, so I felt a little comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But once he got on the court, this guy could get in because the things he was doing was like again, everybody compared Lynn to Mike, and I don't think I could be something much bigger than Mike. Totally different position, but I could compare Lynn to LeBron. I would say Lynn was the first LeBron because again, he was bigger than LeBron, or jumped higher than LeBron. And people like back then, Lynn had a mid-range stroke that was I feel that was better than LeBron. So right now, I'm sorry, but back then, we just didn't see guys like that. And it's just unfortunate that a lot of people didn't get to see this guy play.
Okay, so now you go to State Warrior and talk about the experience playing in California because now you're from the South. Was there a culture shock? Obviously, being in California. Talk about adjusting in the NBA as a rookie, playing in California in the Bay Area.
But bro, you gotta understand now when you going out, when you doing things in the NBA style, you doing it first class. So, when I got to California, everything was laid out. I was only, I had just turned 20 years old. I just had $1 million sign as long as I had a little money in my pocket. I had a nice $3 million contract, and so when I got out there, the first thing I did notice was the weather was real nice. Hadn't been team yet, what I'm saying, other than the guys I had a little training with. But the main thing was, you can't put a young man out of California with all these different women. And that was my main thing. Chasing women more so at a young age. And again, not knowing that I was out there. A lot of times when I go out and speak, that's why I travel around and talk about both sides of the fence. I thought I had made it just because I was in the NBA. I tell a lot of guys, just because you did a job guy. Now once it's over, you retired. Now, yeah, you made it. You've done everything you want to do. So I felt as though I had made it before I had done anything. I got relaxed. And so basketball came secondary when I was in California. More so the street life became my priority.
Okay, so when you come to this team, you have a team that got some interesting players. Joe Barry Carroll, Chris Mullin was on his team. Obviously, Eric Sleepy Floyd, and you go to the playoffs. You finish 42-40. And George Karl, no, he was a guy that was no up and coming doing his thing. Let's talk about being in the playoffs for the first time. Talk about that.
Well, you know what, me and George Karl, that was one of the craziest things. Didn't really know George Karl again. Like I told you earlier, wasn't really a sports ball, so didn't know really who George Karl was. Only thing I knew was that, and he made this clear that he went to North Carolina, and I went to North Carolina State, and he was using that. Sometimes, he used that a lot of practice, but I thought he was picking on me, but extra fast, extra run. So if I want a shooting drill or something, instead of me getting the money, he would pass out to the veteran player. And then no one ever set me down and told me this was just the rookie blues, as they say. And so I took it kind of good, and so I did me and coach. But it is a lot. Now, as far as the players, only one I really knew, believe it or not, was Chris Mullin. That I actually known about. Now, I knew Sleepy was from North Carolina, heard about him, had never seen him play that much. And Joe Barry Carroll was a little older, and I never really watched him play. And then we got another guy, Jerry King, Larry Smith, strong Whitehead. These guys I never heard of. You know what I'm saying? So, so when I get out there, and they're much older, so one of the things is that after practice, I was one of those guys. I'm a team player. So after practice, what we gonna do? What we going tonight? The guys get together. But these guys are married with families, so and they're much older. Like I said, I went out there at 20. These guys early 30s. Then some might be mid 30s. So they're not hanging out with no 20-year-old kids. So that came a distance in between us right there. Now, again, once in a while, me and Chris Mullin hung out. I never hung out with Smith or anything. So I, coming from NC State, last team I was on, which was a well-fitted team, coming to this now another team, but these guys are so spread out different, still not knowing that this is a business, and guys are not required to hang out with you. I find myself doing late night things, because, like I said, 20 years old on a Friday night, I'm not looking to go home early, I'm looking to go hang out and chase whatever I can chase, and come in at 4 or 5 in the morning, and like I said, a lot of times these guys were not doing that, so the guys I was hanging with, took my interest from basketball to other things. But now again, what I also talk about now, is where my mistakes was I was not hanging around those who were doing things, people that were doing what I was doing. So I took myself out of my atmosphere and out of my element. So again, that was my fault. But again, just being a young man, experiencing everything for the first time, being an only child, I have a brother and sister. I bumped my head a bunch of times, I scraped my knees a bunch of times. And I enjoyed every minute I stayed out.
Okay, so playoffs. You played the Utah Jazz and you winning 5 games. Do you talk about your recollections of just being in the playoffs in the postseason? Because now you're a rookie. Despite being a rookie, your team goes to the playoffs. Talk about that experience winning Game 5. You beat the Utah Jazz 118-113. Sleepy Floyd had 21 points. Joe Barry Carroll had 24 points. Um, Look at that score, box score. You didn't play in that game, but just talk about your experience, just being around a playoff team, coming off college, and now you in the professional ranks in the NBA and going to the playoffs. Talk about that win in Game 5 against Utah Jazz. If you have any recollections of that game.
Yeah, man, you know what, believe it or not, Rashad, you're one of the only few guys that's ever asked anything about that game. And I tell a lot of folks, that's the first time Golden State has actually been in the playoff in 2 years. And again, like I said, we were down 0-2 going into Utah. And we had to win 3 in a row. And people know we did that. And at the end of the game, we got in one of the biggest fights. And these are things that I remember back then. Now, and that was basketball. You know what I'm saying? Whether I see now, it's not really basketball. It's just now. But watching Sleepy Joe Barry at that time was a good experience. Now, also that same year we came back and we played the Lakers. I didn't get. I got a little chance. I think I maybe 4-1. But now I was really active in my attention to get basketball second year. So I watched Sleepy Joe and he 2-1 on the Lakers, and again we won a game against them as well. And so we made it to the second round. And that was big. I didn't know how big it was until years later. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that those that playoffs. And also I think back to my mistake was that the reason they drafted me was for a position, the Green Points and for a guy, Larry Smith that was there. That was a strong rebound. One of the reasons for it. And I didn't see my fault while let the team down. I let a lot of people down when, at a young age. That's all.
Yeah, you won that game, that series against Utah, and then you played the Lakers, who eventually go and win the NBA title against the Celtics. Yeah, Sleepy Floyd, I think it was game 4. He scored 51 points, 10 assists. He was 18 of 26 from the field. Played a great game, and I think he set a record for most consecutive points scored in a quarter. I think that still is a record for as like a player in the playoffs doing something like that. Just talk about that performance, just being a spectator, watching him put on a great performance against a great Laker team. Talk about that.
It was great seeing somebody, play like that. Now again, and I remember that run that you were talking about. I think somewhere 22 to 25 points get put up in a row. And again, and people not see time one of the biggest guys, but like the little man possessed that game. I still remember the shots, the layup he was doing, the under the basket move. And again, like I said, I didn't know I was gonna be a part of this just like this there. Because my thing was that I wanted to play, but I wasn't doing the things to play. You know what I'm saying? So again, my time, like I said, even that was good, but also when I got traded to Atlanta, playing with Dominique and those guys and playing against the Celtics, where we lost in 5 with the Celtics. I was with Dominique when him and Bird had that shootout with, I think Dominique had 47 and Bird had 50 something like that. They were both up there, guarding each other. So again, I was on a lot of history making things. I just wasn't part of that. My part of the history part was to mess it up. And again, I fault no one but myself on that. But the time that I was there, the guys I was playing, again, I wouldn't trade anything for winning the world.
Yeah, Sleepy Floyd, when he did what he did against the Lakers in '87 in the semifinals in Game 4. Yeah, he still holds the record. It's actually still a record in the playoffs that he scored 29 points in a quarter, and then the half 39 points. So that's still a record. He scored 12 consecutive field goals in the fourth quarter, having 51 points. So the time was short with the Warriors. Now you play with the Atlanta Hawks. Talk about that experience.
Watch, they've
Being
got
with
guys that
Atlanta
are
Hawks,
dangerous
playing with
after the
Dominic
catch.
Wilkins.
And this
Talk about that.
quarterback
Again, like I said, all that was great. It would probably been even better if I was more prepared for the professional life. Like I said, again, these guys, we're nothing like now what we like then. Because like I'm friends with all these guys. Dominic, Cliff Livingston, Antoine, we all probably closer now than when we playing. See back from when you on NBA team and you come in, you come in to take somebody's position, which means you're taking money out of their household, maybe you get traded to another team. So sometimes these guys have been together years. So that was the case when I came into Atlanta. Although I stood prior to coming to Atlanta, for just a little time we played the state together. But something like that it was so close, and I was trying to, I couldn't find my niche, how to break that circle. And so again, I found my myself doing the same stuff off the court, you know. Now again, but like I said, back then, you know, basketball, you know, practice was something totally different. Now, this is some of the best basketball I tried to play, and again, it was just in practice. But a lot of times I didn't get together, just doing something dumb or not showing up to practice, being late to a bus. Something I did, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, so practice wise, really seeing these guys play, there's no fans around, but they're really showing the love of the game for it. And I was there because I was talented enough to be there, but I just didn't have the passion like those guys there. That's what I remember, you know, the battles we had in practice with those that playing allowed us to game against other guys. Because my practice, which because I was playing these all-stars, you know, every time I went out. But as far as watching Dominic do his thing, watching Spud and like a lot of these other guys on the team was, you know, it was good to see. Because again, it was showing me that when you feel guys out there that stuff was going to, you know, put their all to the sport. And I just couldn't, you know, not forget that, you know, and I got
Okay, so obviously, you know, your time was short in the NBA, but to talk about, you know, unfortunately, you know, that situation with, you know, whatever you was dealing with at that time. Talk about playing in the Continental Basketball Association, the USA Basketball League. Also, you played overseas in Argentina, Puerto Rico, Greece, Spain, Switzerland, Colombia. Talk about your experiences compared to the NBA life and that league. Talk about, you know, playing in other countries as well as a different basketball league.
Well, I'll tell you what, the NBA mess you up. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to go over there because, you know, your career in the NBA was over, you had actually retired, you know, because you go overseas and still play up until, you know, early 40s or mid 40s, you know. But when I went over, you know, I was kind of upset mainly because, like, one thing, I was young. Uh, Second thing, they wasn't spending the kind of money that the NBA was spending. You know, now again, when you get overseas, a lot of good things, like I said, the house is free, the car free, they give you a car, you can free, you know, but the money is not the same. The living is not the same. And so again, I didn't give all, I was given, I was forgiven, because I was still in the NBA. Although I had lost that privilege, I feel a lot of kids, sometimes it's a privilege to be where you want to be. You just have to deal with where you at. I still didn't do that because although I was put into that secondary league, I just, you know, I wasn't still giving first class basketball. I was just doing anything because this is my thing. Most of those teams and countries that I played on, I ended up getting cut from. And, you know, I wouldn't show up for practice sometimes. I might even halftime of the game. Again, I just wasn't mentally prepared for it at that time. Like, my folks that left basketball more so, you know, after the game, going around streets trying to find drugs and, you know, my outside life again, and now taking over the basketball. What I tell a lot of folks is that it don't matter where you go, or what you do, and you're trying to escape, you know, different things. Because I thought I was escaping different places, but every time I look in the mirror, I saw myself, and that was the person that was always doing the wrong stuff. So, uh, until I got right with myself, you know, I kept bumping my head each time. So, you know, I don't got, I was like, I made a career. I made a CPA that I over up on the Henry building. And again, all these different things are nice because even on that team, the Tulsa Fast Breakers, we played with a guy named Anthony Mason, who ended up playing for the New York Knicks. And so it's still great basketball. Again, it's just my focus of what's on where I was supposed to be going when I was there.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the present time. You say you currently you school and speak, do speaking engagements. Talk about that experience of doing speaking engagement. Correct me if I'm wrong. You do speaking engagements.
Yeah, but you know what? So a lot of folks don't know I went to the penitentiary for 3 years. Still behind drugs. When I got out, you know, I was homeless for a little while. Get out of trash cans, and I did everything that a homeless person would do. myself in a bent field and stuff. Snow, you know what I'm saying? And up until, and at this time, I was still married with kids. Um, so while I got separated, I came back to North Carolina. My mom had all time. So I came back to her, to help her my dad. And she just passed in 2000. Now, I started trying to get myself together. I actually stopped until June of 2001. I'm 20 years clean out. Okay. So what I do now is I have a business I go around and it's called Action Concert. Learn from me, Chris Washburn. And I go around different schools, different basketball camps. I've done church groups and overseas. I just tell about both sides of it. Mainly about my not downfall, and like I said earlier, I think prepared when a situation comes your way, if you're not prepared for it, just wasting somebody's time. And it's I figured this out almost 30 years. And so like I say now that, I can go back and look at my mistakes, I get that old question, what should have done different? I would have done everything different. You know what I'm saying? Now being 55, looking back on a 20-year-old, I would have done everything different than what I did at that age. So I can try to grow my children, the importance of education, the importance of understanding if you have an opportunity to pay for it, understanding to count your own money. I've always said that. I didn't give someone power of attorney when they stole about $700,000 from my house. So again, so I just tell everybody from my mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And I said they can make their own decision, but at least they know. So again, if anybody wants to have cover, get in touch with me or try to put me ready, you can contact me through cwenterprise.tac@gmail.com.
Okay. So, okay. Now, you say you got a book coming out. Is it a personal memoir, or and what do you have a title for the book?
Yeah. I mean, first memoir, I have a friend of mine by the name of G.L. This actually right. A lot of things over the years I've heard different things, and a lot of times I never tried to correct it, really didn't care about it. Now, like I said, at 55, we going back to correcting some of the things that we did over the years, and some of the big things about me and mine, but again, it's called Definition Concept. Chris Washburn. And again, I'm supposed to be that I'm not and again, it's going to be a good read. It's going to be maybe a short one, and if it does well, then I have 100 stories. But I can go back and revisit again. But so that's what I'm doing now, Rashad. Just trying to get, let other folks understand that, even back then, I didn't know I had it, but right back then, I had the direction, and that's big now. So I talk about that, stuff like suicidal thoughts, all kind of things that I thought about because I didn't have that correct circle around me, and also about, the people that need to be around you if you're trying to do certain things, what kind of people you have around you. So again, it's just like I said, just learn from Chris Washburn, and it's not just my bad, it's not everything to do.
Okay. Thank you for your time, man. I appreciate your time coming on the show. Thank you for your time, Chris Washburn. Thank you so much for your guest being on the Rashad Show. Thank you.
Hey, Rashad, I appreciate your time, and thanks for everything.
All right. Thank you. All right. That's Chris Washburn.